Old. We are ready to get into the action though, folks. The game just about ready to kick off, I do believe. So bear with us for a few more and we should be into the game shortly with that pistol getting kicked off. We are indeed. Here we go into the game. Looking good as it is that Nuke CT side start for Falcons.
Always nice. Julie's on Python. And here we go. Wasting no time. 5 armor in towards ramp. Nade from Masuta. Doesn't do any damage. Is 0. Trying to track him down. Rotates are here. MBK's down. Masuta, he's in control. Bit of a crossfire as MBK takes some pot shots. Tagged up a long distance. And there's no kits on this CD side. And they're losing control thick and fast.
Yeah,
Double
absolutely.
doors taken and the bomb planted. This is brilliant now for Sinners.
An absolute mess to start off, but they've managed to find themselves some consistency. Hadji comes in with a queen double, though. NBK, not looking too bad. Still got the Julies in action. It's down to 0. Runs out of ammo in this USP that he's recovered, and that will cost him his life. The Julies coming up large. Looks so good for Sinners, but it would seem that Falcon's comfortable to give them that space.
I don't know how Hadji got 2. It wasn't he was in decon, right? And he managed to get out behind the silo and kill 2 players. That's a bit crazy. You wouldn't see that on a gun round. So, Hadji the hero from out of nowhere. When it looked brilliant for Sinners. They had so much control. They had the bomb down. As I said, not a lot of utility or kits on that CD side. So, a retake looked to be problematic, but can't fool them. Get it over the line. And here comes the force by Sinners not letting off. Galil's in the mix. Mac 10 on B-stick. Oscar with the scout. So, no AKs there, but plenty of nades, and we know that on Nuke, those nades can come in pretty handy to help you make your way towards a bomb site.
Yeah, it's a fearsome buy to start us off, and they're going for a super quick outside play, making sure the Molotov's still in action. Love the look of this, and well, MBK, despite the fact that he had an AUG, not sure if it's a misbuy from that spot, doesn't look like it. He's not able to return fire onto Oscar very well at all. Hadji, the next port of call, is all 5 players making their way down below. We'll see how this one goes. Could be an absolute bloodbath. If Hadji can find his aim, he can't, though. The jumping player across, they were very ready for him. Once again, looking to hit the B bomb site in a matter of seconds. Hadji on the A1S, though, manages to find a gap here. Masuta, MP9, deadly. Oscar trying to get the plant in. Comms fall apart, perhaps. An absolute mess down on B, and this time it will once again be the Falcons coming out on top. Much more clinical from them, though. No hero play really required.
It's quite astonishing they kept 4 alive, given how much carnage was actually ensuing. So, good stuff from Falcons. Very nice round. Very nice round. Those rounds are so scary. Get up close and personal. Galil was basically as good as an M4. If you're at super close range. A bit surprised that there's still so many A1Ss. We're still waiting for that. The change is coming. The A4s will be out at some point, but I don't know. Maybe Nuke is a map where the silencer does have a bit of a distinct advantage.
Yeah, that's true. Long range traces through smoke. But still being figured out by the looks of things. And I don't know. You know how pro players are, right? They don't like changing their ways unless they absolutely have to, and I guess it's the top level that has to. This sort of level will continue with the A1S until otherwise.
Especially with sleep schedules. That's impossible. Much easier to get them to use a different gun than, you know, go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Well, there you go. Pretty quiet one here. Sinners really not sending it this time. You'd expect on the pistols that would be a bit more, but they're just looking to get themselves some kill bonus. Maybe chatting away here. Zedko has flown down below, though, somehow. Whether this was through the vent or kind of been down ramp. So, yeah, he must have got a little sneaky vent dive. All the same, first kill comes in for that CT end.
I don't think they're aware. But maybe they are. It's not as big a risk as, you know, just leaving them down there. What are they going to do? They have to make noise to get up ramp. Kenny S peeks in, nice and easy, and yeah, it's a clean up. Zedko, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? 1 kill will be nice, and that's not going to be found. And Falcons, 4 alive in the last round, 5 in this. Money for days. Could even drop that MP9 and get an AWP onto Kenny. We'll see what they choose to do, but they're soaring pretty high at the moment, and given the map pick of Sinners, well, I need to see why they picked this. I need to see some good strategies on this T side right from the off.
Yeah, I mean, that early buy from them was just totally rushed, right? And they found the first kill. You'd assume a 5-on-4 that quickly. should have worked in their favor. Quick game change on this one. There's a lot of noise on the A-bomb side. Beast
I think there's a bad smoke on the outside.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, God. And 4 players stacked on top of each other to give the A-bomb site a go. This, once again, could be a mess. They're going to work their way through a Molotov, or are they? Haji taking his silencer off. He's still alive, though, at the back end of the vent. Teammates coming in to assist. Once again, a bloodbath in favor of the CT side. This is moving very fast for a Nuke. Sinners, the pick that looked oh so strong, is really not going well in these early rounds, I have to say.
Yeah, well, we didn't catch a glimpse in game, but I'm quite confident there was a gap on those between red and secret towards outer. There was a gap in those smokes. I mean, it might have been intentional to try and keep players looking that direction, but as you mentioned, by the time the hit came in, Falcons had no reason not to be staring at all the entry paths onto A. And it was a pretty easy cleanup until he went down. Another player down the vent, so... Well, Sinners consistently getting down this vent, but yet to really make use of it. Maybe, just maybe, Zero can generate some magic, because my god, do they need it.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. Zedco creep through his own smoke. I don't know that the AWP has caught any of him. So, again, a position that could be utilized a little later on into the round. He's going to make himself known, though, to the AWP. The M4's coming in, swapping up the angle. NBK and Kenny S. Old teammates back again, and they will hold down towards ramp pretty effectively. Masuta can't find a kill, but he's setting them up for sure. Shock finally takes him down. Somehow, 2 players surviving. No one else surviving Shock, though. Not a bad angle, just didn't really have the HP nor the head anymore to get that one going. But 2 kills at the tail end. 5 in a row. We've only been here 3 or 4 minutes, it feels like, Alan. This is a pretty quick domination from Falcons. Yeah,
this is... I mean, those are some nice 1Ds from Shock, but it doesn't really change the tune at all of this map so far. Sinners haven't really been able to get anywhere. The pistol round was as close as they got, in my opinion. And yeah, of course, map win rate's really high on this map. They look brilliant on it back in the day with Oscar. And Oscar there, bit of a miss Molotov, but it shouldn't come to much effect. And a slower default this time. No attempted event dive, and they have to gain control or get a frag without giving up, you know, something enormous for free, because that's been the story of these last few rounds. And wow. You think NBK saw a leg? That is brutal.
Yeah, maybe. He's definitely heard Zedco here as well. Can't keep his head, so at least the trade is there, and a bit of control comes along with it. Just lots of micro movements from Sinners. They don't rightly know what to do with these advantages they're being given. Love this move as well from the CT side. The lobby crunch. It's a lot of information. No one around. It's being held for. So the overconfidence does need to be checked. This one feels very strange. Into lobby.
Did Masuda just try to go up the ladder?
I think so.
I think he did.
Got a bit punished.
That's amazing. Well, this is ridiculous. This is massive ring a rosy. You can see Haji is fearful of players getting through hell on the angle at the right time. Shock is now en route, and this is just a scramble from both teams. Sinners, what's the plan here? You have to kill Haji. Indeed, they do. Information given up. Kenny S is lower. And now they're going to make a decision. Shock's making a lot of noise, but there's nobody nearby, and Kenny's going to punish. Time is running down. 17 seconds, and Sinners don't, for me, look geared to even try this. They're giving this up.
Oh, man. They're even going to lose more players as it goes on. Zero's got to be very careful. The after time would make a massive difference. They are on the max loss bonus, of course, but all the same, he's here with an AK and $150. So thankfully he will survive, but yeah, I mean, 6 rounds of pretty heavy domination. I don't think we've really seen any of them come close. One bomb plant, and that was in the pistol, if I am remembering correctly. So Sinner's going to find themselves a tactical timeout, I think rightfully so.
I would have thought MBK did see a leg there. Because it seemed a bit... Yeah. There was quite a gap on the bottom right by main on that last smoke. Kenny's off to a good start, which makes us all feel warm and gooey inside when we see that happening. Kenny's an interesting discussion because it's always it's always hard to talk realistically about a player of his tenure coming back from a big hiatus, and his latter stages in those French teams were not brilliant, and he, for good reason, did actually get removed in the end. So yeah, I mean, even at a top 50 level, you need to be a good AWPer. So I don't know. kennyS has started this game well, but yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on him, and I'll do my best not to bias with those great memories of him in years gone by.
Yeah, you and I both, to be honest, an absolute legend of the game, and both in and out, I think, is the thing. One of the bigger pro personalities that we've had over the past, well, 10
decade.
Plus. Yeah,
at least.
I know, it's mental. It's mental. I think him and Pasha, probably, maybe Snacks after his little HLTV awards speech. But yeah, he's, I don't know, it's hard not to. It is hard not to, and I think you are right, though. The top level became a bit too much for him. The game changed massively from when he was, you know, dominant, so that's totally fair, but here, he's in farm mode at the moment, and you can see it. It's a small flick, but it looks nice and clean. Double scopes are never easy to land. Keep it coming against the pistols. Once again, Sinners are in the bin, stuck for ideas. They don't even go for a cheeky force buy. So Zero's personal economy is going to be all over the place the next few rounds if he goes down with the TK.
This feels like the only route into the round, doesn't it? A Zedco clean cleavage of a headshot. Smoke fade will favour him. NBK's a little bit in the open, but yeah, he's too smart. MBK's been there before. He might have even seen the leg crossing into it, I guess. And I don't know. I mean, we're not expecting Sinners to win rounds like this, but when the economy's this out of control, they got to do some damage. That's a nice kill. That's a very nice kill. And a bomb plant, if it could be acquired, that'd be very nice for Sinners.
Kenny pretty close on the shots here. Not quite able to secure them. Just going for a few pot shots. Nothing landing. And this is something to consider. He's only got one bullet left in his magazine. However, Oscar pushing forwards, only good for the one. Needed a little bit more than that. Beast Stick will be the last remaining now. I was going to say, had to get into position for a trade, but unfortunately, unable. 1v3. He opened up this opportunity. Tap onto the bomb. He reads that. Oh, clean headshot. Here we go. They get off it, though, and they've just got plenty of time to play with at the end of the day with the kits in play. At the very least, it's an expensive round and a bomb plant. So that's steps forward, but it's still 7 in a row for the CT side.
Kenny still hasn't died. It's happening. He's back. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. It's been so many years since that patch back in 2015, but this is it. This is the Kenny we've been waiting for. Oh, you know, I don't know. kennyS. A CS world without kennyS playing world is not as fruitful as it could be.
No, definitely true. Definitely true. So we'll see whether he keeps that trend up, I suppose. Sinners are yet to silence anyone on Falcons. Kenny's doing, obviously, a lot of the work. But Hadji, we are fans of Hadji here in this casting booth, I suppose. NBK, we're fans of moves like this. He's got so much info in. Smoke's going to go down. AWP falls. That's the big danger, man. Zero is also going to go down to Kenny towards ramp. NBK keeps pushing forwards. Drop the bomb. All too easy right now for the Frenchman.
This is a train wreck. Wow. They've got to start chaining pauses because this is their map pick. This is their map pick. Zedco should get traded. Okay, or maybe there is a window here. He'll have to fell out NBK, but with the bomb down and all these nades, I mean, they can just chain them surely here, and there's no way to get this bomb back.
Yeah. Kenny catches an overpeak. B-Stick left to clutch up once again, but as you say, smokes, plural. Maybe a small oversight, but there's definitely no chance he's getting through there. Will last till about 28 seconds, I think, if I clock the time properly, so it's just not going to be enough time, I think, to pick up the kills and the bomb and get a plant. You know, there'll be way too much resistance unless the CTs get a bit too aggressive. Yeah, and B-Stick kind of knows it. Maybe doesn't want to go down after time this time around because he will have cash available. Once he falls, And that AWP is pretty valuable, as I've said, so there might be a little swappage of the weaponry here. They might just go down the middle. I think they do not know what to do. Nothing is working.
Sinners have 15 kills. Kenny S has 14 kills. It's not gone well. It's not gone to plan. The only crumb of comfort is, well, at least this is T-side Nuke. We can just get a couple rounds. Maybe there's a chance. And well, the Venn dives, the one thing that was working during this first half, the one way they could get some space, has been figured out. They cried wolf too many times, and now they're dead.
Just pure silence, really, as well. Sinners, I don't know what to say. I think that they came in hoping they could play thick and fast and just, you know, utilize their individuals, but Falcons have looked incredibly ready for that. Yeah, and it's really, as you've kind of pointed out there, just scaled way back. The first few rounds, they'd maybe get a player in, they'd maybe get a little stuck. But now Falcons are just so ready. Keep your guns up, maybe one nade at a time, don't chain them. Kenny S, whoa, sticking around, risky. He's able to just about make it away. Oscar, though, with a double on the Tech 9. What's happened there? Kenny's getting tracked down here as well. Onto his deagle, back onto the AWP, missing shots. Knife comes out from 0, and well, Kenny's first death is quite spectacular. A 2 versus 2 now ensues. The craziest round we've had in quite some time. Oscar and 0, they have the B bomb site, but they don't really have the wherewithal to get this bomb down. And of course, their HP is pretty low. So this is still tough, although we have some excitement in the middle. I don't know that this round goes their way. Masuta and MBK, they will both chime in and deny away that first round from Sinners. The closest we have had it, and a funny knife in the middle, of course.
Yeah, I guess in the 2-on-2 there, Sinners just was so scared of a player coming down the vent or from secret, peeking then from double or control or decon. They just thought, we've got to fight into somewhere. And they made their bed pushing in towards ramp. That's exactly where those Falcons players were waiting. Kenny had a bit of a stinker there. A few missed shots. Plenty of chances, but we'll let him have a round off when he's playing this well. Well, I mean, at least it's some damage. At least it's a bomb plant to ensure more buys, but Sinners, they need rounds. Moral victories aren't going to be enough here. They need to get at least 3 out of 4. And well, that was crazy, and they'll take that one, I think.
Yeah, the overconfidence of the CT side certainly getting the better of them. Python goes 1 for 1 in Hut there as well. So for the first time in the entire game, maybe? I think they did in the pistol, didn't they? But Sinners have got themselves a man advantage that is comfortable, and it's perhaps going to get even better. Kenny does survive. Doesn't get any damage out himself, though, so continues to look worse and worse, the HP bars here.
You'll take a bit of a risk if you're Falcons. You can't cover the whole map with only 3 players. Hadji, he is... I think he's through the doorway there. And Squeaky is, so bit of information. He can fast flank, I guess. But they need that early warning system. They need to know the players soon will be going down lower, and MBK's not in the right place at the right time. He'd be great if he was down in hell at the moment, but yeah, it just feels like Sinners, soon enough, they'll be down the ramp untouched, and Falcons might even consider saving as soon as this bomb starts getting planted, because they are well out of position.
E-stick holding. Hadji's got
see the gun?
not going to clear it solidly, though, and it's B-stick who moves first as the bomb starts to go down. Could have been a kill to make all the difference. They tried for a lobby crunch. Doesn't work. It looks like Sinners are going to get their first round. I think we have a save on our hands. They've got loads of cash, but I think they understand the precarious position that they're in. Do not want to lose said cash. Oh! Yep. Yep. Ah, come on, man. That's boring. Kenny S going to go down, and that's the AWP out. So, clean round from Sinners.
I'm not sure what was up there with the aggression. I don't think there was a flashbang as it was went through the ramps.
Yeah.
And I guess they plan to crunch inner off something from outer, because Python at the same time pushed Hut, but I I don't know. Why fix what isn't broken? Sinners haven't been able to get into any good late round positions at all. So, yeah, Falcons maybe a bit overzealous, and Sinners will take that every day of the week. But that's kind of the thing that concerns me, is it wasn't Sinners necessarily generating a lot there. Granted, they played a good late round, but I don't know. I haven't seen Sinners, to be blunt, I can't see why they picked Nuke just yet. I haven't seen some really great strategy or some insights into how Falcons plays and pushing them around the map. It's Falcons have basically dictated the pace, even to the point of, losing themselves the previous in some senses.
Will one timeout be enough to correct the errors? That's what they'll be asking on this Falcons side. And so far, really, really impressed. I mean, Kenny's been a big part of it, as we have said throughout. But MBK and Hadji also holding their own pretty well. Hadji had that big round 4 or 5, I think it was. And they tried to rush A. He just shut them down completely. So we'll see if they go back to that. Sinners, it's a round, but obviously they're going to need to continue the streak before it's really even begun. Couple of nades ring out, and they do little bits of damage, but nothing too substantial here. Immediately slows down, doesn't it, once they've picked up their first round? They haven't
got any value out of those outer smokes. It's not done anything to Falcons. They're still playing 5 on the top side of the map. Nobody's even remotely concerned. The players are down. Kenny's ready and waiting. There's still 2 more players to join him on this A bomb site. MBK is so nearby. Kenny tagged up a little bit. It's a good entry onto Hadji, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's just so many players in the vicinity, and Python just can't be dealt with. There's too many angles. It's a good hold from Falcons, and Sinners, it's what I said. They just haven't at any point pushed Falcons around the map. Yeah. Falcons have just always had all the information.
Yeah, I think by virtue, just because, they're kind of running in 3-4 players at one area, it feels quite puggy. It doesn't feel like, they're getting players into good positions, or they're running a set round or something like that. Just very, very basic T-side, and Falcons, at the moment, have that individuality and the brick wall effect, I like to call it, where their basic CT setups are enough to work with. Everyone's hitting their shots, maybe even good for a couple, not just one. So, you keep this up, Sinners, aha! We'll need to try something a bit different, and this could be it. It looks like they have no idea of event drop. NBK is a bit scared up there. He's got no idea. Freebie for 0. Oh, if it comes off correctly, he did have a look, but the flash came in.
Good flash. Good flash. I think MBK was wised up. I guess somebody called. Could be down the vent. Yeah. Kenny S on the angle. Oscar peeks in and immediately traded. And yes, this space is nice, but there's one big red flashing problem, and that's the bomb in T-spawn. So you might have got a player down. There's a lot of work to do to actually kind of congregate towards a bomb site here. That's a nice kill from Zedco to retain that advantage, but a little bit more work to be done, and look at Hadji taking all this space. Pretty relentless here from Falcons.
Yeah, considering as we've kind of praised, their general setups look good. They decided to continue the contact aggression. Kenny S is doing the same thing. He's going to hear them dropping down, but might just be too far gone on this one. Neither player is anywhere near the B bomb site, so probably just another save angle and concede that second.
Well, I guess we can start having the damage limitation conversation. I think break the money this Falcon side, maybe 4 or 5 rounds, is actually on the table, which would be that'd be monumental given how struggling they were at times at the start of this half. That was the first time I think they actually got value out of. That was the first time they got value out of that vent dive, I think. Got down a lot of times, but Falcons have been so comfortable just to not really fight it. And yeah, this time it works perfectly, and MBK's just not really in a good position to fight it. I think he was clued up, but he just absolutely picked it in the end. So yeah, plenty of vent dives, and finally it works. So looking a little bit rosier for Sinners. Maybe there is a little life left here on Nuke.
Yeah, 10-5 is that bare minimum. They're going to have to keep it going. They've struggled. Well, they haven't. They've not struggled. They haven't strung any more than one together. So, you know, and the money is always there for the CT side, although it starts to hit the bottom of the bank. So this is it. This is the big round. If Sinners can get this one, it gives them massive potential. Opening pick does not quite happen. And, well, Oscar can have his position and his AWP, of course, revealed. Zedco. We'll check back in with that one in a second. This looks like a mess outside so far.
Kenny S has been beautifully mobile. And I like the switch up here. A lot of nadirs to try and prevent the vent dive. And then a couple players. Kenny's in secret. We've got Hadji in towards main, and as well as MBK all the way towards the the blue crate by the garage. So a lot of numbers fighting outer, but that leaves nobody close rotate here on ramp. And as soon as Masuta drops, there's so much real estate to be taken. And look at them scrambling. Hadji's here, Kenny's in towards control, and these guys need to hit some shots, or this is going to go south very, very quickly. Oscar's already found the first. NBK's fallen by the wayside, and suddenly Kenny. We need an old school highlight. First is found. Molotov's going to put him in a rock and a hard place. And, well, 1-on-4, this would be quite something.
Too many targets, I think, at this point. He needed a little bit of assistance from his teammates, and it's just not going to happen. Everybody chiming in on the Sinners side as well. Much, much better from them. And like I said, it comes at the perfect time. The money not there. This AWP saved. He might get his highlight in the next round, to be fair, Alan, but not going to happen in this one. And they have plenty of time to hunt him down. The big one being Zedco, who is on the flank, but does need to speed up a little bit.
The happiest people right now are those with Kenny on their fantasy team. They are loving this. Especially if they went for the least deaths multiplier.
Yep.
They'd be screaming, telling him to keep the save going. This is perfect. But Sinners, they're making a game of this. Probably still contingent on a pistol round in that second half, or at least early economic control. But, well, at least something's changed. Finally getting a little bit more punchy, a little bit more aggressive. Playing with a tad more pace and just kind of bouncing off each other a little bit better. Some clean entries as well to boot. So, finally, for the first time in this game, Falcons have got to make a difficult decision. Do you force into this one? Do you save into the next? Kenny's already dropped a rifle, so I guess that implies buy is about to come in, and Falcons might truly struggle now to get more than 10. These two buys are not going to be great.
Another timeout used, though. I mean, last time they used one, they found success off the back of it. Oh, yeah, they're going in. Not so sure. Classically French. But I guess they're hoping this one works out for them. Maybe a surprise factor with it. Maybe an idea. Nuke is one of the better maps for a CT side force buy, right? You can definitely make these MP9s work, especially inner. They're going to send the two aggressive rifles outside. Kenny watching for that peek. And MBK drops Oscar massive. He will get traded, but once again, that is the AWPer. That is the opening picker taken down. And look at the control that they've got off the back of it as well. Python again with the hut push. Might just have been spotted a little. Kenny, with this mobility, the dynamicism that he's able to bring, goes from covering outside to covering ramp in a matter of 10 seconds. Really solid stuff. Great little door close as well. Looking great here for that CT side. Python activates. Finds success. Two MP9s on top of each other. They've got good information on where these remaining players are coming from. So this looks, well, this looks like an 11th. Unless the two remaining players can change that tune.
Beasting down. Money's pretty decent. There'll be a couple Galils, I suspect, in the following. Unless Zero somehow can pull off a bomb plant, but Python's down lower. Kenny can peek from the top. We've got players in main. Outside of Squeaky, it's just impossible. And maybe you should even consider a saving. Drop two AKs in the following, irrespective. Hadji's going to fall. He was going for the fight. And indeed, the trade is there, so 11 for Falcons, forced by looking justified, and yeah, I think it's also that combination between MBK and Kenny MBK is the outer player here. Not a position he's played for a long time on teams because he's been in more supportive roles, but the outer spot on Nuke is famed for its, the amount of positions you can play, the amount of influence you can have, good communication, and I mean, they've played a lot with Kenny S over the years, and that 1-2 punch is working perfectly right now on the CV side.
Oh, NBK and Hadji not able to finish Zero. My goodness. From Zero, I suppose, to Hero going down the vent. He got down there. He sacrificed everything. Oh, and the boost up as well. Speaking of sacrifices, maybe one that they didn't want to make is Kenny S going down early. Such a pivotal place as well. Ramp now going to be secured, and they've got that man down below. Zero will get dealt with quickly. Hadji has picked up the pieces. MBK is gathering great information, so they're very ready for the hit on the B-bomb site. Just always the case of getting the numbers in. Hadji needs to stay alive, and he knows that. Great angle here. Finds one. And a second. No, looks away at the worst possible time. It was there for him. The suitors come in with the flank, however, and that might just do it. B-stick. They lined up, but he couldn't finish them. And that will be the 12-3 at the turn of the half coming in.
Looking good. Looking very good. A little bit of a stumble towards the end, but it doesn't change the picture painted. 12-3 lead for Falcons on their opponent's map pick. They barely put a foot wrong, and as we go into the second half, I guess it just beckons the question of what on earth can Sinners do? Is there even a world where they can bring this back? But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out if that will be so.
And we're back. 12-3 on the turn of the half, of course. It is not a pretty scoreline if you are a Sinners player, fan, or maybe if you were here for a deep competition on Nuke. It is anything but at the moment. And, well, goes without saying, this pistol round needs picking up, then the next rifle, all that. All needs to happen, and MBK's got other ideas, of course. Natural born killer making his way through very quickly. Kenny S in his back pocket. B-stick, nice trade. Needs a little bit more, though. These pistols are just running rampant all over the place. They are swarming on B-stick, but he's fighting them off relatively well. 3 versus 3 ensues. Not a bad little result in the early stage, but I don't know where this T-side wants to end up, Alan.
Got some choices. It's not like the CTs are in a position to force them one way or the other. Very passive stuff, and of course, with our omnipresence seeing that X-ray, we can tell that lower bomb site is a little bit easier. It's just shock. USP in hand. As long as they stay well grouped, there should be a reasonably easy trade here. Shock. Real opportunity to do damage. First found. Second on the deck. Can he make it free? Hadji digs up Shock, but surely those rotate. We're thick and fast. Zedko opens the doors. Bit of a hectic fight. And Hadji does indeed go down. So there you go. That's your first tick box. Pistol round found, but as we're mentioning, a lot more work here left to be done.
Yeah, there is an awful lot, to be fair.
Credit to B-Stick. I don't know how he lived that long.
Well,
the mini-map was hell on earth for him. They were everywhere.
Yep, underneath him, on the same level. Just all after him. It looked like, you know, take down B-Stick, the round's over. So he does very, very well to survive. We've got an eco coming out from Falcons here, so they are looking for that early rifle round. And, yeah, it is the first step on the road to recovery, but quite a small one. Quite a insignificant one, it feels like, for Sinners.
I like the idea that NBK calls for an eco, and then Kenny S looks at him and says, "Eco?" We didn't do that when we used to play together.
Oh, the times change.
What is this word, eco?
They're going to be mincemeat here for this MP9. Oscar is a bit scared of the numbers, but you can see why he's sticking around.
Kenny!
Oh, no. Kenny with the team kill. He's taken $600 away from Oscar, you see. It's actually very smart. We just are not quite on the same brainwave as Kenny S, of course. Makes sense.
He didn't want to be too far ahead of his teammates in the kill count.
Also true, yeah.
Yeah, I had to bring himself back a little bit. Just to stay in touch. You don't want to, you know, make other teammates look bad.
Right.
That's Kenny. Just a nice guy.
Indeed. He is indeed. And now they're half buying with Mac 10s.
How many rounds do Sinners need before you're going to call this a match?
If they can get 12-8 from here, I'd have confidence in them. But then I'm very confused. Maybe, let's say 12-9, because we've got some kind of a weird half-buy thing here from Falcons.
Yeah, what is going on here? They
could
the last?
Yeah,
yeah. This is a set round for sure. Look at these mollies. Wow. Top hut. Back silo. Flash is about to rain in. They've invested everything into this, and it's not even 8. It's ramp, and nobody's here.
It could work. Shock's here. Nice Molotov to slow them down, but they're going to go after him. It seems like a contact Mac 10 play. Gets 2, however, so I think that might be enough for him to, again, pass on the info and remain in charge as the Sinners squad. MBK is going to slowly make his way up the ramp towards heaven. The ladder towards heaven. Spots no one. Still goes for it. He's got the bomb. So probably does not want to die here, and he does recognize that fact. Back down the ladder he will go. Not sure what Falcons set round. That might be a bit generous. Oscar holding the close angle down below. They're going to clear it. It's always tough to clear, but he goes down quick. That's another rifle recovered. Now we panic if we are a Sinners fan, Sinners players. They're going to make their way all the way down. But the bomb will be planted before they really have an opportunity to fight back. The defense is strong here as well, and Kenny finds the final frag to pick up the 13th. Seemingly out of nowhere, the Mac 10 contact force by half by thing actually works out.
I'm very intrigued to see over the rest of this series and potentially the tournament if Falcons do that. I don't think I've ever seen that. outside of
miles
scenarios, it's pretty mad. I mean, they ecoed second. They knew it must have been planned. It had to have been planned to go into a round like that. Versus just playing on AKs with a bit of limited
that's
nades.
very true, actually, yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, they might do it on every map moving forwards in that position. It'd be very interesting to see. Out of smoke's cascading in, and Sinners have said, we don't feel a force. We don't feel a force. We're handing Falcons 14, barring some absolute heroics, I guess, from Shock and Zedco. Falcons are flying high right now.
Double flash coming in. I'm going to walk into a stacked A bomb site, so they do have to be careful here. Oscar chimes in with the first. Somewhat of a mess, but there's enough AKs to make sure that the kills come in. Just a couple deagles remaining. Actually, armor for Shock. He was one of the richer members, I suppose. Might be able to find himself a gun when the round concludes, but the round is going to conclude in the favor of Falcons, bar anything crazy, and that was your half-second Zedco to keep me talking, but now it will indeed be over.
Where's that gun? Oh, it's behind the silo on the site. I don't think so. Save the armor. I guess you can buy head armor. Pretty cheaply. Only 350. And that's 14 for Falcons, so we're getting glimmers of hope in this match, but the overall direction is all Falcons. Sinners have not made this competitive at all. Falcons, I don't know, it just seems like I was very impressed by their CD side. I thought they called it well. Kenny was playing good. MBK clearly was communicating well. They were rotating like a top-level team. And they just look brilliant. Maybe they have been practicing for a few weeks. They look like there's no rust at all in the system.
Second map will be kind of the tell-all in that sense, though, eh? Because it wasn't a fantastic map for them traditionally. Nuke, also middle of the pack, you would say, but yeah, this is very impressive. Briefly a competition in this second half, Alan, but now becomes somewhat of an exhibition, especially down to this round. We'll see how it plays out. If they can't win this one, then I think it is pretty much game over, and MBK has had an easy path down below. B-Stick on an MP9, there's no way he can fight against the A4. Nice to see one out, I suppose. Shock. Meanwhile, has to be very careful with this move. Here. It's not him that's going to get timing. It's Oscar with nade in hand. They contact ramp, and very effectively do they contact ramp. B-Stick, that should have been his kill every day of the week.
Over.
This is it.
Round over.
Save. Go for it.
To.
I mean, game over if this one ends.
It is. I mean, it is game over, isn't it? It's going to take a miracle. Be it the retake here or 10 on the trot just to make it to overtime. Wow, that sequence in towards ramp of was it B-Stick there first that looked away at the wrong time, and then Oscar comes in thinking that ramp is being held. He's got a nade in hand, ready to re-smoke or something, and gets caught with his pants down. That was painful. That was painful. Falcons can do no wrong, and Sinners. Wow, every gap they leave, be it their defense or their offense, is just getting exploited at every time. It's just painful. Another word for it.
Never easy, it would seem. Not really been in the game at all. We were 9-0. Small resurgence.
I wonder how the bookies' odds have changed.
Yeah, I know, right? Tell me about it. But Falcons, on paper, we've got to say, they have to be the better team with the ceiling that's available. And you can see now that they have perhaps put their money where their mouth is, had a slightly more relaxed, let's figure it out. We got Python, we got Hadji, players that can't, well, Masuta as well. Kenny's not played with these guys before. See how they feel it out for a few months, and then we can work on sort of serious mode, and it's looked very, very good. Even though they've played a pretty heavily individually based game. Zedco, can he keep them in it a little while longer? Oscar also chiming in. Dink on to Kenny. Might just be enough with a 3 versus 2.
Do have bomb. Kenny is so low. Best he can do is just post up and shock. Oh, through the round. Oh, Masuda. Well, bit of karma there for the timings in the previous, and it will be 6 for Sinners. Kenny surely seconds away from being caught from B-Stick.
Yeah.
B-Stick doesn't actually peek this side of the red crate, but no, anyway. There goes Kenny. I mean, it's a good consolation. I guess if you're Sinners, you're just playing to warm up from here, aren't you? Before you go into your opponent's map pick. So that was a nice round, but there's so many more chances. There's so many opportunities here, and that round in and of itself could have flipped on a dime if someone had just spotted Zedko before he got in behind.
Python on high, looking to catch Oscar here. Trying. Not able to do so. So MBK is going to go down Oscar with an aggression with Kenny S as AWP, I believe. Finds great success. Zero. Also looking good. Goes back for more. And he will take names with him. Only 2 remain there, 4 for Falcons. So we're going to get an extension of the game here. The question really is, how long will it be? Plenty of cash built up. Oh, and an attempt at getting down. If he'd made it down, the bomb plant would have been in. Does not happen. Set to be a flawless round for Sinners. The first one, I would say. Python, here's a reload, goes for a peek, and now gives his position away.
Finally something to feel good about if you're in the Sinners camp. That was clean. Nice and aggressive. Plenty of fighting in towards Hut and Squeaky. And it works out for them. I guess, I'll tell you what, I love this pause from Falcons. Just how many teams with this sort of lead would just sit on their laurels and just keep playing and let it get to, 12, 13 rounds and suddenly realize what should have been an impossible deficit to be clawed back has actually transpired. So I love this pause. Just a quick discussion. How have we lost the last few rounds? Everyone just calm down. We've got a lot of chances here. If we just play simple, solid CS, we will get a good opportunity to close this out.
Classically French. Looking for something fast and aggressive, maybe. That's what I'd like to see, but as you said, lots and lots of
I think you
room
pump
to
the
work with.
brakes. I mean, this many chances, someone's going to make a mistake on that CT side. You just need a moment of just brilliance. But they've listened to you. They're in the script school.
Yep.
Fast out 8. B-Stick finds 1. There's so many kills you can barely count them. The shock. Hero of the hour. Looks set to be 8 for Sinners. Kenny S has something to say about it. 1 on 2 now. Bomb's a little bit in the open, but wow, whoa, this would be a triumphant return. He gets another one, but Oscar is there. Kenny getting us all excited. And yeah, they were definitely listening to you there. That was so punchy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, crazy move to say the least. Kenny on the high sense as well makes it look flashy for that spin around. All the same, not going to go their way, as said. We're continuing, it's this same sort of consolation rounds, whatever you want to call it, momentum. Had a bit of an in and out as a word in the sort of casting vernacular for a little while there. CT side is maybe being brought back down to reality. They are going to go fast once again. Flash is somewhat effective, but the weaponry just is not strong enough for them. And this will be an even quicker cleanup. 9 rounds. Still got to be 2 or 3 more for my money before I start, thinking. I did say 12-9, but now we're at 15-9. That's a bit of a different scoreline. If, you don't watch that much Counter-Strike. They've got plenty of money left. So, as you said, perhaps now is the time to pump on the brakes and go for one of those pocket rounds they may have.
I think what we never saw in the first half from Sinners was just working the map. There were so many rounds where they were just so committed early on. It was the standard wall of outer smokes or very slight variation into already committing to, 4 ramp or 4 down secret. I'd like to just see a slower round where we take control and we just see what happens. See what actually transpires. Look at this aggression mode. 2 in from ramp. Shots don't connect. Oscar finally comes back to get his due. MBK may get one in return, but look at where this bomb is. Hands of Oscar and Kenny. Surely not long for this world. How on earth do you get this bomb back? And indeed, it's impossible. I mean, the lack of bomb plants here. This is looking pretty dominant from Sinners on the CD side.
Starting to get troublesome. Starting to get very troublesome indeed. They're going to go for a half buy with the way that the cash is at maximum loss bonus and all that. For Falcons, and you have to be careful, right? Sinners will be taking it around at a time. Falcons might already have, you know, counted the chickens, so to speak, and called this one a bit early. A ramp rush this time around, straight into the arms of Oscar. Finds one. He is tracked down pretty quickly. No scope lands, and the support is here. Oscar, the no scope merchant, drops that bomb. Hadji found on the edge of a smoke, trying to get cheeky on A. Oh no, they have activated Oscar a little bit, so this does start to get very scary.
That's just unfair. That's honestly unfair, and it makes me feel good to know that now with how the kill feed looks, that the Falcons guy even know they just got no scoped. Even better. Even better, but let's focus in, because suddenly out of nowhere, we're at a 2 or 3 gun round match from a position that looked impossible. Imagine this is overtime and Sinners have just lost the first half on their T side 0-3. They need 3 in a row. That's kind of the position we're at, and you wouldn't say that was out of the realms of possibility. So, focused up for both teams. Sinners are making a go of this, and Zero's been formidable on this CD side. He keeps finding these opening kills, and Zedko has been a complete menace. Second one found, 5 on 3. Starting to fall apart.
Yeah, I couldn't bail him out there, but again, info, damage, nade follows up as well to just continue the trend. And the T side have really not gained as much control as they would like, given the 2 players they've given away. Oscar's pushed up. Yeah, this is a fantastic spot. 4v3 with info. What more do you need? Zero. Playing it safe. Could have got aggressive there for a second, but opts not to do so. Python down below has to give his position away. Very, very slow movement here from Falcons.
So they just cleared a lobby of Sinners. So they got that information. I guess they're a little bit nervy of something wrapping out and coming in towards Hell. Shock is all on his own. This is a big fight. And thank God Shock won that, or that would have been lower bomb side open for business. 2 on 4 now. Bomb is here. And Sinners, after a little bit of checking out of here, should be aware that Secret is really the only avenue left. So, are they saving? Wow. Falcons have just fallen apart. Can't find anything.
Yep. Gone south real fast. Sinners closing the gap. Starting to make us think, aren't they? Overtime is obviously the only option for the defending side, but they're getting closer and closer, and they're getting better and better as each round goes on. So this is problematic. That's putting it lightly for the Frenchman. Something has to change up here. They've still got plenty of timeouts. Oh, there you go. They've only got the 1 left, actually. And they're going to use it right here. So we're expecting big things out of this round. The issue is the cash is all over. It really is.
Really hardcore, isn't it?
I'm always in the buy camp.
I think you're
I
half.
love that, but
I think you're half buy. I think you're half buy, and you just accept that we've had to plant Kenny's on a Galilla or Tech 9 in the following, because you're basically committing to only 1 full buy if you buy into this. 1 full buy between this and overtime, which, given this is a 15-5 lead, would be kind of unbelievable. So, clock dwindling. Nothing bought just yet. I would like to see a little bit on Masuta, Hadji, and Python to at least get us near our bomb plant. Kenny's going to buy nades. Yeah, so it's a bit of a half buy in the end, a bit of a late decision, but I think ultimately the right one. Even so, a bomb plant would do a lot of good here just to get MBK and Kenny S into a good buying position in the following.
Yeah, and you can see Kenny is maybe already starting this round thinking that he needs to hold onto the AWP. Playing a very slim angle, not getting super aggressive at all. Oscar, meanwhile, is pushed up. Don't know if he's been seen here. Masuta has escaped his crosshair somewhat, but it's not an angle that you win lightly. Hadji might just back into it, though, or something along those lines. I really don't know who's got the info here and who doesn't. Masuta thought he had the drop, but will fall pretty quick. Not ideal at all. Kenny trying to find some kind of trade, but the Sinners, they know, play safe, play light, and it could go well. Great find from Python. Gets himself a second. The window was so small, but he squeezes through with that deagle. They're going to get the bomb plant that they so desperately needed, and now the rest becomes bonus, maybe even the map to go their way. Oscar, AWP on a retake, plus Zedco, that only makes 2. That's not enough for my money. The no-scope merchant is back, but only for 1. Zedco can't find anything. 16-12 in the end, and it took an awful long time, to be fair to Sinners, but it will be that victory coming in for Team Falcons on their opponent's map pick.
That is crazy. That's 2 rounds on that CD side where Sinners, by luck, by a mistake, by a miscommunication, have got full timing, and players have walked out and killed somebody completely unaware and then enveloped an area of the map. That is game changing. This is overtime, if not a map win.